Hey there, my handsome and pretty little Cobras, and welcome back to the Cobra's Nest. For those of you who are new, my name is Mignon Cobra, and I make minimalist videos. Today's minimalistic video is going to be things that I learned during 6 months of no buy. So without further ado, let's just continue the video. Let's get it, let's go. Woo. I'm filming on the floor because I packed away my stuff because I was supposed to go to Canada like today but my flight got canceled, so we're gonna be staying in Taiwan for 1 more month. I have packed away all of my stuff, and that included my mic, my lamp, my camera stand. So this is the current state of affairs. So I just wanted to say a disclaimer as to why this even happened. This was totally unintentional. I had no intention of doing a no buy, but for the past 6 months, current state of affairs, feeling like, oh, I don't really need makeup right now, I'm not really doing anything, I still have like some stuff that I need to finish up. In all honesty, I just didn't know how long this quarantine, I just didn't know how long this pandemic was gonna last, and I didn't want to be wasting my money on something frivolous like makeup. I was like, what if this lasts 2 years or over a year? I was like, I need my money for basic stuff, face wash and shampoo and food. So that is kind of why this ended up turning into it's been 6 months of no buy. Even and this is going to be mostly referring to my makeup because that's kind of the only thing that I buy that isn't non-essential. Other than that, I don't really buy clothes, I don't buy shoes, makeup for me is something that I buy twice a year, once in Chinese New Year, another time in summer. So number one, even as a careful consumer, I have realized that even I can't finish my makeup. It hurt to see the waste. I was going through some of my makeup and looking at what is expired and what isn't, and I was like, I would have really liked to have finished it. And some of the makeup is over 2 years old, and I was like, I had 2 years to finish this. I hit pan on almost everything, but it's still I was like, I wanted there are some shadows that I completely finished. I was just cleaning out the pan, and that's what I wanted for all of my shadows. But unfortunately, even just only 2 makeup palettes in my rotation for 2 years, I couldn't completely finish everything. There were some stuff that I would go out and repurchase, that ash brown that I use for contouring and everything. I went through 3 of those, but the other stuff didn't, and it just hurt for it to go to waste. Okay, number 2, I realized that I only need 1 item per category. I realized I don't even need 2 mascaras. This year, so all of 2019, I had 2 mascaras that I had bought, one at the end of summer and one at the beginning of October. And for that entire year, I mostly used the brown one, and I killed off the brown one, and the black one I didn't touch as much. And I realized, and I wear mascara every single day, even 2 times a day, sometimes even 3, because I work out and then I shower and then reapply mascara. I don't finish a stick as fast as I could. And I know you're supposed to declutter mascara every 6 months, but I used it for a year and I still could not finish 2 sticks. So it has made me really conscious of the fact that I don't need more than 1 item per category, and that's a lot because I really like makeup and I like having at least 2 choices per category. I feel a pink lip or a red lip, a dark shade and a light shade, but I don't think I'll be doing that anymore from this point forward. My stuff owns me, not the other way around. This one is actually something that I picked up from reading Goodbye Things for the 2nd time. Fumio Sasaki, he was talking about how things own you. I read this book about 2 years ago, I think it was 2 years or 3 years ago. And at the time, in my minimalism journey, because I've been on this minimalism journey for about 5 years now, and in the 3rd year, I still was I didn't believe that things owned you and not the other way around. I felt like I am the master of my stuff. But actually during this this no buy and actually finishing up stuff and having less stuff and less clutter, because I didn't bring a lot with me to Taiwan, I left a lot of it behind in China, I actually have been experiencing a lot of freedom that I didn't have before. I guess the last time I experienced freedom like this was, I think, in the very beginning of my minimalism journey when I decluttered a lot of stuff. But back then, I was just trying to get rid of stuff, but I wasn't intentional, so I think I missed the point entirely. But this time around, I definitely see it. Or maybe I'm just more mature now, I really don't know. But for whatever reason, I finally see it. I was supposed to only be in Taiwan for a week, so I only brought less than a week's worth of stuff to Taiwan, and I've been living off of that for 6 months, and I just realized that, my stuff was owning me and not the other way around. Number 4, I realized I didn't need as many items as I thought that I needed to be happy. That was a really big realization for me. I kind of came to realize that by playing Animal Crossing. And in Animal Crossing, I did a lot of my shopping there instead of in real life. And in Animal Crossing, I was able to go ham and I bought a lot of stuff. And I realized that I was just as equally happy with or without it. Like in Animal Crossing, I had abundance, and then I come back to my real life of like my living out of a suitcase, and I felt just as equally happy, if not happier, with the less clutter. And that's gonna bring me to my next point. Number 5, cleaning less items has been a real pleasure. Washing my brushes has been so easy. Washing my undergarments has been really easy. I only own like 3 or 4 undergarments, but I don't mind, because before I used to feel kind of stressed out that like when I had more undergarments, I had to wait for the laundry load to be ready or maxed out before we could like wash stuff. So I was always kind of like worried. But now that when I had less, I had to wash them by hand. And I actually got this idea from Son Yo-ham, and she's like a Korean extreme minimalist, and she said she would wash her stuff by hand, which is a trick she picked up while camping. And I was like, I could do that. And guys, washing my undergarments by hand has been like one of the best things that I have ever done. It makes me so like zen and meaningful when washing my clothes, and I don't have to wash so much stuff. I also get to use clean stuff more often. My brushes are always clean because it's only like 5 brushes that I wash instead of like my whole collection, which I think was like maybe like, I never counted them, but maybe like 12 or 15, but now I only wash 5, so really nice. Okay, the next one, number 6, save money. So when like money does start, rolling in again, I can save it instead of having to spend it, because surprise, I don't need as much as I thought that I did. I've also kind of realized for the first time how truly a luxury makeup is. At the beginning of my minimalism journey, after I did when I had that idea to do my like no makeup march, it was more kind of like for radical ideology. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna reject societal standards and not use makeup, because it was almost like society made you think makeup was something you had to do, like it was like a necessity. But during this pandemic has made me realize makeup is actually a luxury. You don't need makeup. It's kind of been an eye-opener, and it's actually made me more appreciative of the makeup that I do have, and also more tentative. Like I can have makeup, but I have to treat it, I have to do makeup responsibly. Which brings me to my next point, number 7. I realized during this pandemic I actually had a slight makeup addiction. Luckily, because I'm a minimalist, I never consumed a lot of makeup to begin with, but I never stopped consuming it after I did my March no makeup. Like honestly, I even technically failed at my March no makeup. I reintroduced makeup again because I just didn't like not wearing makeup. Isn't that an addiction? It took this pandemic for me to realize that I actually have an addiction to it. I love makeup. And the reason that I got this idea is I was watching like a travel makeup thing by editorial, and she was explaining she still gets a lot of PR packages, so she's still making videos about makeup, but she's saying that during pandemics, makeup, like alcohol, is still purchased by people. So she was saying shop makeup responsibly, and then I was like, oh my god, yes. During this pandemic, even though I'm worried that I have to make my money stretch for like necessities, like I was still trying to include a budget to buy myself another mascara or another lipstick when I have like 5-6 lipsticks. I haven't counted them, but I have a lot, and I was like, oh my god. I think the first step is realizing that you have a problem. I know I'm like laughing about it, but it's more out of embarrassment than like, haha, this is funny. I'm gonna be definitely working on this. This is something that I like learned about myself, that I really attached to makeup more than I wanted to admit. Going cold turkey just doesn't work for me, so I'm gonna try something more sustainable. Maybe continue from this point forward and try to use up all of my makeup and cherish it, and not purchase any makeup till all of it's gone. And I think that will help calm down or curate my taste and my attachment, my addiction to makeup. Number 8, I started to prioritize my money funds for more important things like necessities rather than frivolous stuff. So I started to consider I need to make sure I have money to buy a face wash in the next couple months versus more frivolous stuff like new shirts or more makeup or more snacks or going out to eat. These frivolous things, they're like luxuries and indulgences, and they have a place and a time. It made me more wary of what they were, and instead of thinking like I deserve to have this, I started to realize that I can better prioritize my money, and that has definitely been very eye-opening. Number 9, I practice way more gratitude and a lot more mindfulness and intentionality. Since I haven't been able to buy stuff, I'll be honest, in the beginning, like I already had a list of stuff I was gonna go out and buy. I was gonna buy some skincare, I was gonna buy some mascara, but that was like a couple months ago, and I kept pushing it off. And as I prolonged not going out to replenish or buy things that I needed, I started to look at what I I started to shop my closet, and I started to realize there's actually a lot of things that I could like use up and use. And as I started to use them, I actually started to feel more appreciation and intentionality for the things that I already had. I meditate a whole lot more, and I give gratitude for things that I already have, and that has definitely helped me put me in a much better mood and state of mind on the daily. So I'm like really grateful for the low buy. And number 10, I started to feel really good about the things that I already owned and I was getting a lot of use out of. I was really cherishing my underwear. I know it's like a really weird thing. I'm really enjoying using up my makeup product. I had hit pan on them, and I had finished my mascara. It was completely dry. I feel like this is a really good feeling. It's something I want to continue on beyond 2020. I want to finish up my products. I feel like I'm going this time around with more intentionality and more gratitude, and cherishing what I already have is just it's like such a good feeling that it has really culled my kind of like bottomless appetite to keep shopping. I felt like I was justified in purchasing stuff every 6 months, and I don't think that that's how it should be. It should be, I should only be buying things when my stuff has run out. It doesn't matter that it's only been 6 months. Anyway, that is my 10 things that I have learned during my 6-month no buy. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Check out my Instagram for more Mignon Cobra goodness, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye!